Okay, I just wanted to show and remind you guys that whenever you put any kind of material on your mat, always go over it with your brayer. It also helps so you can get more use out of your mat, but it does make a difference with the cut. I guarantee it. Okay, let me just stick my machine and turn it off. And I hope you guys are ready to put, oh, sorry about the noise, put your card together, because I know I am. And I think I made a mistake. No, maybe not. I think I got pieces the way I wanted them. So, lay them all out in front of you so you can see what you got, even when it is a small project like this that only has a small handful of pieces. Sometimes I will dry layer everything so I can see what's going on. Like, I will just figure out how things are to get laid, or how I want to lay them out, and then I would go from there. And that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I am going to do is I am going to fold my score line. So get your score line on the red base, on the card base, and make sure, once again, that it's a nice crisp fold. Okay, so open your card up, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to apply on the inside what is the skin layer. So I am going to use some white glue, and I'm going to apply it to the card itself. This way I can make sure that I don't have glue squeezing out the middle parts and making a mess. Okay, that's all we need. And just attach it and layer it. And plus, like I've said before, you get a bit of wiggle room with glue, whereas with two-way tape, no wiggle room whatsoever. Okay, as you know, I also like to sometimes then squeeze it down with the brayer. My brayer is like I'd be lost without my brayer. Now what you can do, the back of your card. So, for the inside layer. And this time I'm just going to use some two-way tape. Now in this case, my sentiment would be a little bit smaller than this piece. Or I'd put my sentiment on this piece if I didn't want this design. So just line that up to the best that you can. It's okay if you leave a little bit of red there, so it gives it, well, it just is. Excuse me. But I wanted that because it's snowflakes falling. So now I'm going to go over that crease just with my, I want to go over it with this, just to make sure everything's pushed down nice. You see how that card's coming? So open them up, and our next layer is going to be his beard. So once again, I'm going to use my glue. Okay. And just line him up with his face and his mouth and his nose. Take your time. We're in no rush. William's sleeping. See, listen. It's quiet. Mark's still sleeping because, well, my husband drives truck all night. And the baby's down for a nap. Okay, so there's that layer. Now we're going to do the next layer. Which is for the present. And if I was smart, which obviously I'm not, and the dog's going to start barking, I'm going to flip that back over, okay, and even though it's got tape on it, I'm going to put some dots on it. So it's going to help them stick on better, and you know me, guys, I make a boo-boo, or I wouldn't call this really a boo-boo because it's just a change of mind. But I do this very often, almost every single video. Okay, and luckily I've got some teeny ones here too. So I'll put one there. I'll put one there. And I'll put one more right in the middle of the bow. Now, if this wasn't already wet, I would flip it over, and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip it over, and before I put it in place, I'm going to put the pieces on it. I would have done this before I did the pop dots, but the pop dots are going to help hold it up for me. And I don't want to do it on the card because if I push down, the glue will get stuck. And I don't want it glued, I want it pop dot. So I'm going to do it this way. Don't matter how you do it, just do it. As long as the results are the same. And I am shaking like the devil today. So I'm just going to wiggle it around. And I'm going to shoot my dog, Yogi. Come here. I don't know why it is, but we only have one neighbor, okay, because of where we live, which is awesome. And he's unfortunately right across the road from us. And our dog does not like him at all. Not in the least. Hasn't from day one. Every time he goes out in the yard, our dog barks and carries on. So, got a bit of a dry spot there. Crust, whatever you call it. So let's do the next layer. So needless to say, I always know when my neighbor is outside. He's a little strange though. Lately he's taken to enjoying to get our dog going. And then he turns around and yells at him. He actually, one day this summer, yelled over and told him to effing shut up. I couldn't believe it. Like, really? Okay, so that is beautiful. So let's flip it back over. Remember you have that glue there, so don't touch it. Take the parts, take the pieces off your pop dots, or put your pop dots on, and then take your pieces off. Mine are a little slippery in spots because of the glue underneath them. of these days I'm going to do a video and it's going to come across as perfect. It is going to be perfectly shot, perfect volume. Oh, I want one more dot. Perfect, just perfect. And no one's going to believe that it was me. One of these days. But that's the day, maybe some year, someday, I'll have the proper equipment, proper setup. Boy, that all takes a lot of money, and I don't have it. Okay, so I'm just going to place this. Yeah, I'm glad I did the pop dots. I recommend using the pop dots to put that up, because that made a huge difference for this little card. See? Look at the difference that makes. Okay, so all we have left is his snowflake on, or the pom-pom. And there's a star to put on up here. Oh wow, that was a quick nap. Luckily, guess what? We're done the video. So let's just figure out where we want that. Right about there. And I'm not sure if there was a little nose cut out, but there isn't a nose. And I don't know if I like that. I want something for his nose. So I am going to just reach up here and I'm just going to get myself one of, which one do I got? I just got the red Cricut marker. And I want him to have a nose. So I'm just going to, actually that's all I'm going to do. Let's give that a good trace. You know what, I'm going to do the same thing with his mouth. Just trace them out. Yeah, I like that. Oops! You can almost get, let's see, this is one of their glitter, it's one of their glitter gel, or their gel tip. It's a glitter pink. I don't think I've ever used it. There we go. So I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with his nose and his lips and give him an outline of some rosiness. And there we go. Should, yes. That bow needs one more thing. It does. As it needs a little jewel to go on it. See, simple stuff that really changes the card and makes it more yours. Gives it more pizzazz. Don't just leave it. Well, you can. They look beautiful, plain and simple. But go ahead and play around and change things. You just never know what you're going to come up with. So now that the card is done, isn't that beautiful? I'm going to pull out what I did for my envelope. Yes, I know my envelope is this color, so you got a couple options. The reason is because it was on the same page as for, or the same mat as for the present, and I didn't go in to customize it all. I just went in to make it. So when I noticed that, I thought, you know what I can do is, at the very least, this can become the inside, because this is all white. And you could fill out that. Or you could keep this the outside, and then cut yourself a piece of white paper to go over it. But I'm just going to make it the inside of my card. So just fold it get your trusty scraper. You guys are gonna someone's gonna sneak over here someday and hide my scraper on me. Oh my God, that or my briar, I would die. Especially my briar. Oh, because if I can't find my scraper, I'd briar this. So just fold on the score lines, in this case backwards or forwards, however you want to look at it. And this is now going to become, the back of the paper is now the front of your envelope. And you've got a very beautiful envelope to send with your card. So just run your tape up the edges, like so. Give it a fold, like so. Wipe off any excess tape, and we've got some on the inside, but that's okay, I think. Nope, we don't. Go over things. And now, not only do you have a cute card, you've got a whole cute set. Like, look at that. Isn't that just a cute set to send out to somebody? It's beautiful, and it took how long? So, anyways, guys, thanks for joining me for another wonderful time making a video with you guys, or a card with you guys. I can't believe our first week is done. Next week, remember guys that we're going to be making 3D box cards from SVG Cuts. So you're going to have to go over there and purchase the bundle. It works out to be like 11 and change for Canada or Canadian. So yeah, do it because I think it's worth it. There's quite a few cards in there, and it'll be fun to make them. But until next time, guys, take care and happy crafting.